The more you try to keep me down and keep my head above the water, you can never hold me down. The more you try to block me out, that's where I kick the wall down. You can never hold me back. The more you try to put me out, the more I'll be blazing, it's too hot. The more you try to put me in the dirt, increase my work, the expert. You see the hunger in the eyes of a survivor. Swallowed my pride, washed down with some saliva. Reinvented my whole life, mental MacGyver. One door shut, another open up wider. Listen, battle drums in the distance.
Hey everybody, it's Casey with Pinecase, the podcast where music is your drug of choice. You know what? Tonight we're hanging out with Skyler Ray, and we have a lot in common, actually, when it comes to like childhood, things we've gone through, mission statements, things that are important to us. And like down the rabbit hole I went, and I was like, man, did we grow up in the same block? Like, I'm pretty sure we know each other like that. Like,
that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Hey, I appreciate it. So my name is Skyler Ray. I'm an artist in long-term recovery. And, you know, I grew up in foster homes, homeless at 18. I was getting in trouble a lot through school. I was always trying to fit in or trying to make a great impression on everybody due to abandoned issues, right? And so that led me down a deep hole, and that led me into addiction. Since then, spending some time in jail, spending some time in prison. Most of my 20s is like addiction or locked up, right? But since then, I've been getting out. I've been able to start my own tour. It's called the Road to Recovery Tour. Me and my fiance, we've been able to travel the country. We've been able to travel the world, and just be able to do music. It's been really amazing. And, you know, I'm finally getting back to those dreams that the inner child had of wanting to do music for a living. And it's really an awesome experience. And I would have to say I owe that to my recovery, to be honest.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Congratulations on your recovery.
Thank you.
Like even like the name of your tour, like that's been kind of a staple for a while, right? The Road to Recovery.
Yeah, we did. This will be our 4th year coming up. We have done 86 stops around the country. This year we will definitely hit that 100 mark. It's something that we started. Look, we wanted to do some, like we've done tours with other bigger names. We've been able to do incredible things. We've been able to rock arena with Kevin Gates, all types of stuff, right? But the crazy thing about it is we wanted to do something where it kind of fit my niche and my message. Right. They say always go where you're loved, always go where you're valued. And so that's kind of what we did. And, I figured, hey, why not do like treatment centers? I've never really seen anybody do that, like a full tour of it. Right. And so I started calling up. The first tour started 3 years ago. And I called 2,000 to 3,000 numbers, rehab centers around the country. And I got 28 yeses. And that is how the tour started. The very first year. And we've been running with it ever since. It's been such an amazing thing to be able to travel, to work with tens of thousands of addicts, to be able to get to know people. And it's crazy because like of all the people you meet, they all have that kind of common same goal, like, right? They all want to be successful. They all want to get out. They want to prove other people wrong. They want to prove themselves wrong, but they're all scared, right? Because like, no matter the reason why we're in these treatment centers, whether we're being forced there by the courts, whether we actually want to make that change in our life, it's a scary step in the right direction. And so it's really awesome to be able to go in there. I talk for about an hour, and then me and my fiance, we perform for about an hour with like stories in between. And we've had some really cool responses. Like a lot of our shows are like 3 years, 4 years booked in a row. We got treatment centers that are flying us out around the country, putting us up, all this type of stuff like that. And it's really awesome, the fact that I get to do music for a living, but also I get to affect people's lives. So it's a blessing. It's a blessing. It truly is.
Yeah. Listen, if that was the situation when I was in detox, because I remember laying there, and a lot of people, you might have to go back pretty deep in YouTube to find my testimonial, but like, I remember specifically like laying there, just like, it is so quiet in here. Like no one else realizes how quiet it is in here. And like, it was making me overthink. It was making me stress out. It was making me like be left alone with my thoughts. And the goal is like, okay, you got to go to these meetings and you got to go check this out. And like, I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I'll do that. But like, can we please, like, does somebody have a laptop? Like, what is going on? And that, like, I talked the janitor into it. lended me the laptop, and we did like a little circle round meeting, which is actually how Pinecase started. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah. But yeah, to be able to like be on the other side of that as an artist and to come into that space, like that's life change. It's life saving. It's not life changing. It's life saving.
It's really cool. And I always urge people, you know what I'm saying? Like every treatment center we go to, we give everybody a free shirt, a free signed album, a free signed poster with QR codes so they could scan it when they get out. Cause some centers have phones, some don't, but they're able to scan us, follow up with us. I get people following up, you know, chasing their dreams. I always tell people, follow up with me when you get out. I want to be able to root you on, give me a follow, shoot me a message. I'll follow you back because I want to be on your timeline screaming, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
As you're tearing shit up and you're getting your kids back and you're getting that job and that promotion, I want to be there rooting you guys on because in return, like those are the people that keep me going. When I want to give up, when I think today's hard or I just don't have it in me and I get on Facebook and I see all my people in recovery accomplishing stuff, I'm like, yo, okay. All right. Let's do this. So that's what keeps me going. So like I owe it to the people. So I will always return that service. Like, you know, hit me up, follow me up. We've been able to get in jails, prisons, headline sober festivals around the country. It's crazy, especially going into like a jail or a prison. And you know what I'm saying? Like I've done my time. I've done like 5 years, you know, but it does like it's kind of a mental thing. 'Cause you go in there, all the doors clicking, you're getting patted down, you're doing this. And you go in there and you have to follow all the jail protocols. Like a lot of them are like no cords, no nothing, because if they hold you hostage, they could use it against you as a weapon. And then you get in your head because you're like, yo, what if I'm little? What if they hold my little ass hostage?
Listen, I'd be sweating. Like as soon as it looks like processing, I'd be like, I don't know if we can do this right now. Like, I don't know if I've worked through that trauma yet. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Good on you. Good
crazy.
on you. I bet.
Yeah, but it's really cool because like we've been in what is it, suicide prevention places where people are there because they felt suicidal. We've been there and like, you know, we've had standing ovations by the guy groups and all the staff just couldn't believe it. They were like, oh my God, like these are like the roughest and toughest guys that haven't shared anything and they've been here over a month. And they're sitting there, they're helping us haul stuff in, haul stuff out. They're clapping, they're cheering, they're crying, they're breaking down. And then it's like, as we're packing stuff up and then we're taking the elevator up to the girls' wing, doing it for them. And you know what I'm saying? And I'm a big softie, so I'm always crying. Like, you know what I'm saying? I cry a lot, like during these shows because they're so emotional. I've had somebody ask me a question on something I was talking about. And because I really lived the life that I'm talking about, like I've done broke down crying for like 5 minutes. You know, my lady Kayla's holding me. I'm just crying, snot bubbles in her shoulder, you know? And it's like, this is in the middle of a live show and everybody's just like, looking at me, you know? But it's real.
You've been there and that's what it is. Like, man, listen, if I could bottle that up and explain to you the seriousness of it, but you obviously understand exactly what I'm about to say. And it's like to be there and to give that little bit of life back to those people and like a little bit of normality and a little bit of piece of their life, you know, before or after, like,
absolutely,
you know, it's like, and it's maybe the most frustrating part about recovery or mental health, you know, services in general is that they're kind of stuck in this situation where it like is look the same always, the foundation and the structure, you know, it's always been the same, and you go in there and it's nothing like what you're supposed to live like on the outside. Like there's no transition into like normal life. There's nothing that resembles.
There's all that accountability on the inside of there, and there's all these people watching your every move, so it kind of keeps you on more of the straight and narrow as long as you're willing to give somewhat of some effort, you know. So it's my favorite thing though is showing people that, you know, dreams do come true and it's never too late, right? And that the fact that if, you know, it's supposed to be scary. If your dreams aren't scary, maybe they're not big enough, right? And so you're supposed to be afraid of your dreams. You're supposed to, if you say it out loud, it should be somewhat embarrassing because your ambitions are so large. You know what I'm saying? That like you become shy. And that's the thing about it, is to show these, you know, these people that are in there, that is possible, that like, look what I have been able to do with my life and turn it around. Look what I have accomplished. And the fact is that I've been here where you've been at, and I failed where I've been where you've been at. So if you still going, you doing better than I did. So why can't you do what I do and more?
Truth.
you know?
Truth. Yeah. What was that like though? Because when, going and looking at what some of the things like you're talking about being in for a few years, coming out for 3 days, like turning around, going back. Like, I mean,
that's crazy. You see, you seen that? Are you okay? You threw me off when you said the actual days. That was real. So look, this is a real thing. So I remember doing 6 months, getting out for 3 days, right? Going back in, doing 9 months, getting out for 6 days, going back in, doing another 9 months. And that's the crazy thing about it is like, I would literally go out and it was insane because like, I would get high, like, right? So you wake up in your jail cell, that's the day you get out, right? And they'll release you in the morning. And so you get out and the next time you go to sleep, you're back in a jail cell.
No.
Like, like I didn't even sleep on the outside. And that's how it went for like a long time. Like that was like a 2-year stretch between like all the times and going back in and out. I would literally last as long as it took for the warrant to go out. Sometimes that, if I didn't check in, they'd give me till Monday and then they would take a day to catch me because like I was homeless. So it was like downtown Portland, you got all the homeless spots. You got the square, you got all the food spots, the place where you go shower, all the hot spots under the bridge. And so like they would literally just roll up and scroll down their computer. All right, Michael. All right, Skyler's there. Jimmy's there. And they go up and they just arrest you because like you all got warrants.
We'll take you. We'll take you. Damn.
Everybody. And so like it's kind of crazy the fact to be able to go through that process. And, drugs are so captivating at that time. It's like, I didn't want anything else in this world besides to get high. Like, my ambitions were out the window. I was just upset I kept getting caught.
Right. Totally. Been there. Totally.
I need to get a party.
Right.
3 days? Like what?
Yeah.
No.
Even hungover. Yeah, man, that's crazy. So then, like, because obviously you took that same energy and brought it like to take that and then turn it around and make this like that is wild because you're saying like I wasn't ambitious and like that's just the things that I did got me back to the situation. But like I don't know, man, like how do you go from like that and then being like this is what we're gonna do, we're gonna fucking hustle apartment language every day, like grinding, like where does that switch?
I think it was always in me, to be honest, because even when I was out there on the streets, I was selling dope and always trying to get the larger amounts, bigger, and I was pretty decently good at what I do, right? So I think the hustle and drive was there, but the dreams just look different.
Yeah, totally.
You know what I'm saying? And so now that I'm sober, it's like I'm fully motivated to achieve these dreams. And it's like, it's crazy because like, I'm so scared of these dreams. Like they're so scary. I often find myself crying because like I don't know what's next. How am I going to achieve what's next? Like I've already made it farther than I ever thought I would. How do I take it to the next level? I'm not good enough. I don't have what it takes. And like I deal with confidence issues and everything like that, right? And it's like, so it becomes such a scary thing. But the thing is, I just keep pushing. I just keep one foot in front of the next and keep going. And it helps that I have my beautiful fiance that encourages me, and she's just as crazy as I am, right? Because it's like, I want to do this, and it's like, well, that's all of our money, and she's like, well, babe, if you want to do it, you think it'll help us, let's do it. And I'm like, all right, because I've been in relationships before where I've done music, and it was like, oh, I want to do this or that, and they're like, I thought we're getting a couch this weekend. I was like, all right, cool, okay, all right. And then it's like, I didn't do much because of it, you know what I'm saying? But like with her, she encourages me to take that leap, take that jump, even when I don't have the confidence to do it. And she encouraged me just to do it. Like at the end of the day, I'll have Kayla, I'll have Pound Cake. You met Little Pound Cake.
Met Little Pound Cake. Yeah, totally.
So we gonna be good regardless, And so that's what kind of helps me overcome my fears, because it is such a scary thing. And it's like the moment you slack on hustling in the music industry, your paycheck takes a hit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can't be out there doing that full time and not be eating mac and cheese once in a while. Like, never mind that ramen. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't eating that best and classy shit. We're talking about like no name, like no label type of stuff.
No label expired.
Like she's a good woman.
It gets rough. It gets scary, because it's like, a lot of times things go pretty decent. And then there's some days, you know, sometimes some streaks, some weeks and months where it's like, yo, we're doing so great right now. Right.
Yeah.
And then it's like, you know, you got to stay motivated, especially being independent or being your own boss, because there's no one up your ass telling you what to do. There's no one, you know, forcing you to work today. Like when I was clocking in and clocking out, like at this job, at a sales job, you know, I was there every day for years, never called in sick, never nothing, because that was my job and that's what I had to do. But to find that motivation as an independent artist is like, I like to play video games, so I got to watch myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, it's 3 p.m. I got to get something shaking, you know, I got to get some sales on the board, or I got to get something, because like, you know, it's hard.
Stuff at the end of the day.
It's rough. But it's so worth it. It is so worth it. Like, I am motivated also by my fears. You know, because like I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to do like the impossible dream. How many artists, you know, try to make it in the industry and how many fail, right? Or just never be able to pull it off. And it's crazy because like this is what's been paying the bills for the last 4 years. And
most
you know,
don't even try. Honestly.
That's what
most don't even try.
I'm very, very blessed, very impressed with what I've been able to do. And I just got to remember that there's going to be hard days. There's going to be days where I don't believe in myself, but I just got to keep, like I said, one foot in front of the other. And that's important.
Yeah. And I guess, I mean, a lot of the things that we learn in recovery, and like, I mean, you said a little bit like meetings aren't really for you, like, you know, so you had to find other ways to kind of get to, you know, to the same results. Right. But like, what keeps you motivated on those days where you're not really feeling it? Cause I know there's a lot of people out there that are like, nah, today ain't it, man. Like, you know, obviously you got your lady and your and little pound cake and all that's good, but yeah, totally. But like, you know, we all have those moments where we're like, you know, this it ain't today. And like, so how do you find yourself? How do you stay motivated in those moments? I mean, other than the bank account, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
For you,
I would say goals. You know what I'm saying? I would say goals. Like on the back, I got the door open right now so she can get in and out. But you see, oh no, then it's okay. It's okay. So look, I got goals all over the back of this store. Poster boards,
like a vision board. Okay.
Yeah, I have those a lot. But you know, honestly, on hard days, I try to think of, you know, this is a young man's game and a young person's game. And I try to think about, you know, how much my lady busts her butt to make things happen. And so I think about like, I can't let them down. I can't let my people down. At this point, I kind of got an obligation to the community to be that person. And what I mean by that is I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to act like I'm never afraid. I don't have to act like I'm perfect and everything's going to be okay, right? It's okay to say today was a hard day. Today wasn't my best day. Today I failed. But you know what? I'm going to get up tomorrow and I'm going to try again. And that's what I mean by, you know, I have obligations to my people. I have a lot of people that believe in me. And, you know, so it's important for me to show them that not every day is going to work out your way, but we are blessed to live another day. And if we are free from addiction, then there's still a shot and there's still a chance. And that's what keeps me going, honestly.
Damn. Like to humanize the experience is so much more important than the success itself.
It is.
Like, to, you know, for people to be able to be like, not only do I absolutely look up to this dude, but like he's relatable and I do those things. And like, you know, that's ending stigma right there. That's the fight to ending stigma right there. Right? Like,
absolutely.
Being it like that.
I think it's important to be able to show people that like, you know, you don't have to be the best. You just have to be willing to outwork the person next to you. And I think it's important to be able to show people that you do take hits in this life. That, you know what I'm saying? You will fall, but you have to keep getting up. And, you know, I think that's very inspiring to see in other people. And that's the way I like to live my life. I'm, you know, I deal with confidence issues, you know, I deal with a lot of different internal battles, but I do know that, you know, I am farther in my life than I've ever been. I have a hard time sometimes looking behind me and seeing how far I've come. But when I do, you know, it does put a smile on my face and I am able to justify my hard work paying off. You know, I never I always wanted to be like the biggest music artist. I've always wanted to, be doing all the crazy stuff, right? Rocking arena, selling out, going platinum, millions of
Yeah.
dollars. But the thing is, I just never knew what the journey looked like.
Right.
And so I'm living it. I'm experiencing it. The hardships, like this is very hard to do, and it's overwhelming. It gets frustrating. No one's there giving me a clear path. Success has already been made, so like there is a path to follow, right?
Right.
But the thing
music
is,
and recovery, though, like these aren't things that necessarily, like I remember taking my business license paperwork down, and the lady, at registries was like, "What? What are you talking about?" Like,
it's a journey. It's a journey, but you got to appreciate it for what it is. And, there's always going to be fight in my heart. And I know at the end of the day, I'm blessed because I'd be making music for as long as I was alive, regardless if I was getting paid. So the fact that, I am able to make a living, and the fact that I am able to do what I love and be able to help people along the same way, it just gives me that much more oomph, if that makes sense.
man, you could end. I mean, we don't want nothing to come, your way. But if you, for some reason, had to stop tomorrow,
yeah,
doing what you're doing for whatever reason, the amount of sweat equity that you have put into this world, and not just the recovery world or the music world, but in general, you know what I mean? Like, you've done the work of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 human beings, man.
Thank you.
The catalog of music and the I mean, you're talking these dates, these numbers, like these aren't to go in, like it makes me emotional to think, because you can go and do clubs and pubs, and I'm not saying that's easy either, because it's not, I appreciate that. I grew up in the studio, my dad's a musician, my grandpa's done radio, all that stuff, so I can appreciate that. But to like go out of the comfort and the norm and look at booking shows that haven't traditionally been a tour from beginning to end, like it's monumental. It's monumental.
It is kind of game changing. I get I get so many positive reactions, so many people that love what we do, and so many people that say that they helped them. And the fact that like so many staff members talk about how they see their clients light up, and like talk about their dreams, and this is the most open they've ever been. And like I have staff members that are talking about clients always asking about me afterwards, and they see them writing their goals or focusing a little harder in class afterwards. And it's kind of surreal to think about it. It didn't really hit me until last year. Me and my lady were out to eat, and I remember typing a post, and I was like, 86 stops around the country, like thank you for an amazing year. And I was like, damn, 86, like that's crazy, knowing like how far this tour has gone, and knowing that like it started with cold calling. I literally called 2,000 to 3,000 treatment centers around the country and got thousands of no's, but I got 28 yeses. And that is how the journey has started with the Road to Recovery tour. And now, you know what I'm saying? We have people booking us. We have like the very first tour, like 75 to 80% of those shows we did for free. We probably paid like 20, 30,000 out of pocket just to get this show running. You know what I'm saying? Because like we don't go with no DJs. We don't go with anything. Me and my lady, we hop in the van. We show up to these centers. We set everything up. We sound check. We do everything. We tear down. We meet the clients. We do all the promotion. We do everything, right? And so, the fact that we've been able to turn it to what it is, and it's such a crazy thing to have a dream and have a vision and be able to make it happen. And now it's like we have sponsors. Like we could do all nothing but paid shows if we wanted. Most of our shows are paid, but we do every once in a while do some free shows still to give back to the community. Or if we're in the area and a center reached out to me and there really isn't no funds, like we don't like to turn centers down, because it's about the clients at the end of the day.
Yeah, totally. That's fair. Well, and she's a talent in her own right. Like, listen, my makeup looked so bossy tonight until my first last name came on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then, I mean, I don't know if there's, I mean, I still got my eyeliner on. There's not much left for mascara. I was like, I sent it to my dude. I was like, dude, you got this reminds me of you and your daughter. Like, this is so
Yeah.
sweet. Oh, man.
She's so like,
Wow.
I'm
Wow.
finally confident enough to say I'm like talented, and now I make music I actually like. So it's like now when I throw on my records, like actually that's pretty dope. Run it back.
Yeah.
Before I used to always get red and embarrassed anytime someone would play my music, you know. But like she's helped me so much. Like she is a talent. Like background in opera, classically trained, studied music in Italy for a year. Like she is the real deal. Like you see all these language books back here. She speaks multiple languages. Like that's her. You know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
She is so crazy talented. Like I'm like I've worked with multi-platinum selling artists, Grammy award winning sound engineers, things like all this different stuff. And I have never met an artist as talented as her. And the fact that she's my fiance,
I was just gonna say, and she's your lady.
You know, like it is like it's every rapper's dream to have a girl or to be able to have somebody that sings hooks. Right. Our choruses, and like she does way more than that. Not to put her in a box, right? But the fact that like literally I could be like, hey, you would sound good on this, or she hears this, like, let me try something, you know? And it's like, yo, okay.
There's like, there's people that like write about that in their diaries. You know what I mean? Like actually write about that in their diaries. I mean, there's enough examples for us all to understand exactly how serious that is. But like, that's like big people stuff right there, man. I was so stoked. I was like, let me, because not always do I get to like know the people that are going to come on here. You know what I mean? And like Calico does a lot of the, shout out to Calico Hunt. She does. Man, she's in there doing all the thing. And so it's not often like, usually she kind of just throws people at me. And so it's fun. That's like the best part of my job. I get to go and research these. But with you, I got like this whole other thing that happened because like there's, you got this wicked relationship with Manny Vitelli, and then your fiance is totally deadly. And then it's just like layer. I was just like, oh man, what?
I'm just the middleman. I'm just the middleman with a message. Like, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to Manny too, my co-host of Music and Mayhem. Absolutely love the guy. We got some stuff planning up where I know we're going to be in Portland together coming up in April. I know we got Connecticut together. He's coming back to Portland in September. We got a lot of things lined up, right? I got an awesome team. I got my buddy King Handsome. He might work harder than I actually, when it comes to music, he works harder than I do. I know that, but that's the thing is like, I like my team full of go-getters because I'm trying to do the impossible job. I need to know that if I don't check in on my people in 2 years, they're going to still be grinding their ass off, right? Totally. Because like, I do all my service work and I'm always there for the people. But when it comes to like my close circle, I need people to make me feel lazy. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because they always say you want to be the dumbest person in the room. If you're the smartest person in your circle, you're in the wrong circle.
You're screwed, really. I mean, well, that's how we all ended up in recovery. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it is. So like I'm super blessed, like especially like my fiance, man. She works like there's some brutal days on tour. We've done 3 shows in like 30 hours and then like another show like 12 hours later. Like there's times when tour comes and we'll be pressing merch, trying to get everything ready, right? Because we make our own merch. She designs everything. We press our own merch. We run everything. Promos. We book all our own shows, all our own management. We do all our own writing, our own mixing. We run the whole business ourselves. We do our own music videos. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like there's times where it's like you have 2 hours of sleep before you got to hit the road and you're about to be up for the next 24 hours. Right? Because you got to do a show, then go to the next place just because it's crunch time, right? Yeah. And I don't know how she does it. She does it sober, mind you, right? She's not in recovery, but she's the type to have like a drink with like dinner. And then like I'll be cleaning up dishes and the drink will still halfway be there type thing. So like I don't get how she does it. I'm an alcoholic. I'm an addict. Right? But like she will grind it out. So we're sober and we're just hopped up off of like good energy and like energy drinks. But like I'll be crying basically. Not crying, but I'll be throwing a fit little tantrums because I want to go to bed. I'm tired. I don't want to do this no more. I know it's about to be a brutal next 48 hours, right? Driving, taking turns, rocking shows, setting up, tearing down. And she pushes through. I'll fall
Man,
asleep on the couch or like, you know what I'm saying? And
he's
I'll
there
wake
for
up
you. Like,
and like,
what is
like
going
the van
on?
loaded. And I'm like, yo, come on, let's go. It's,
Yeah.
he is a workhorse. You know what I'm saying? And
Where
the
do you
cool thing
guys
about us,
meet? Like, sorry. Yeah, no.
no, you're good. So like, she's a workhorse, right? And
Yeah.
like, she is unbelievable. I always tell her, you put the product on the table, I will take the product, I will sell it, and I'll put money back on the table. That is how our relationship works. We are very much a yin and the yang. The things that she is good at, I don't have patience for, and the things she don't like to do or not comfortable with, I excel in. So that's how we are able to do it. We met at a diner off of 6th and Anarchy called The Original, downtown Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
And it's a cute little diner. And I had somebody I was in prison with, and he wanted to be my manager. And I was like, I don't do managers because I know how hard I work. I don't want to give anybody a piece of my pie when I know I do all the work.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's always been my thing. I tried a few out, and I just didn't feel like it was really worth it unless you're like super connected. And I haven't ran into anybody like that yet. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're providing like unbelievable opportunities, like, you know, I just don't get why when I can do this myself. And so, you know, so he's like, oh, let me be your manager. And I was like, all right, whatever. We used to walk on the yard all the time. So I was just like, yeah, whatever. I never asked him when he was getting out.
Oh, no.
We were getting out 2 days separate from each other.
Oh,
and so he followed up with me, and I was like, oh, shit, okay. And I was like, yeah, we'll give it a week. Let's see what, you know, let's see what you can do, you know?
Yeah.
And so, like, we don't talk.
You're thinking he's getting out like 9 months, 3 years later. You ain't never
I didn't think he was going to follow up. You didn't even remember me. I was just some kid that he'd walk with. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, he ends up, his car was in the shop. Kayla got into a car wreck. And so her car wasn't there. So Kayla was taking the bus to work, and he was taking the bus. They met on the bus, and he was like, yo, I got this artist. You should check him out. And she's like, oh, I sing. And he's like, oh, let me get your number. So he connected us. We don't talk to him for good reasons, but he did connect us and gave us each other, right? And so with that being said, we met at this diner, and I remember my whole goal when I was getting out was to focus on music. Like, I was so ready and playing out these visions in my head the whole time in prison, right? And so I told myself, don't flirt with her, don't get with her, don't do none of that. Let's talk music. Yeah. And so she came, and I remember she came in, and she'll tell you the story just like I tell you the story. When she sat down, I had 2 notebooks out. She had a notebook and a pen on her side, and I had a notebook, pen on my side. We talked about our dreams. We talked about our goals over dinner. And we talked, when we started laughing and stuff, we talked about, well, we should do a song. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because I was like, oh, you sing? She's like, yeah, I'm classically trained, speak multiple languages. Like, she's smart. I never met anybody like, coming from my past, like, you just don't meet girls like who are like so advanced socially, you know? And she's talking about like classically trained, background in opera. And I was like, well, that's cool. I was like, I'm a rapper. I just got out of prison, you know? So, like, you know, we started talking about like, what if we did a song together? And they were like, well, maybe we'll do like an album. I was like, well, then we have to do like shows. And, you know, and like fast forward to time now, we've been on tours. We've been able to rock arenas together. We've been able to travel the world together, multiple albums. But it all stems back to meeting each other on 6th and Anarchy at a place called The Originals, downtown Portland, Oregon. That is where I met her. And, you know, we took it slow. We decided, we had a very mature talk. If we're going to get together after multiple, like, you know, times together, hanging out, music videos, stuff like that, we started talking. It was like, well, there's a lot of chemistry, you know, but if we're going to get together, like, let's do it for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? There's no point of putting that official title on it if we're both not going to protect it and give it an honest effort. And so that's kind of what we did, but it was really cool because we built our friendship before our relationship. And so like when we were building friendship, we both talked about because it's funny because we had a camera guy who was like flirting with her, and we'd all laugh, and you know, we're driving to locations, and
you guys know, but no one knows.
Like, I'm not dating. I was like, hell no, I'm not dating either, because that was my mentality. When I got out of prison, I didn't go try to hook up with ladies. That's most people's first goals when they get out, go get some action, right? When I got out, I was like, I don't even care about that. You know, I care about my music. And so like, you know, we eventually ended up getting together, but before that, we built such a strong relationship, and thank God, because like, this shit is hard.
Yeah.
And like, it will test your patience and you guys will go through stuff and only the strong will survive. You know?
Yeah, true. Yeah,
So,
true words have never been spoken.
man,
It's not an industry for the faint of heart. And like when you got somebody that's willing to like rock with you when and is a talent on their own. Because I mean, there's got to be times where like you guys got to like give each other that space to do like not everything has to be together, but you guys got to support each other and like the
and
business
we
part of
working on
it.
it. We working. I'm a little
Yeah.
clinky, so I'm working
Right.
on it. You know, I always feel like
Most
I have to
dudes
be
are.
around her now, like she's mad, or you know what I'm
Right,
saying? Like,
yeah.
myself, like, are
Yeah.
you okay? Is this something I did? You know, I'm getting a lot better at it. I'm working on being independent. I really am. But you
Yeah.
know, it really is. And like, you know, a lot of times we write music solo and then invite the other one in,
Very
and then
cool.
they hear it, and then we leave the other one solo to work on it. You
Yeah.
know, I think we're both very shy, like artists and writers.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? But bro, to have her carry the track like she does, like,
Yeah.
and like carry it, I'm telling you, there's times I remember we're rocking Spokane Arena and thousands of people, and I'm there, and I got in my head and I'm looking out at the bright lights, you're just seeing thousands of people. And I had a moment thought, and then I was like, oh shit, where am I at on the song? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I was living in my head, and I'm looking around and I'm running, and I'm like, the stage is huge, right? It's huge.
Right.
It's an arena. And so like, I'm out of breath. I'm looking around. I'm looking at people. I'm like, oh my God, they hate me. Like, of course, this is like 2-second thoughts or maybe like a second, but it happens so slow and you're reading everything. And I remember just looking up and seeing her from across the stage, mouthing my words. And I was like, I got it. And it popped right back on. But I think of stuff like that because she carries me all the time. Like, she carries me so many times. She gives me confidence. And honestly, I know no matter how bad I suck, like, it's just a verse, and then she's about to come on, and no one's gonna remember how bad I just fumbled the bag.
Oh
You
my
know what I'm
K.
saying?
I got a couple for the people in the comments. We hear you and we see you, but like this might not be that show that you're talking about, but I mean Brenda's out here talking about I'm in the I'm just chilling. It's like a rom-com, and like for real, let me give you guys some illustrations on like what this relationship is really looking like, because like, can you
Let's
tell me,
go.
man, are you kidding me? Like,
That's
what?
crazy.
What?
That's me and the lady right there.
Oh
That's the show I
my.
messed up too, and she carried me.
You guys are way too much.
Ah,
Like, that is I don't even, I mean, people, we don't even need to know you. That's like a frameable photo. You know what I mean?
oh man,
Like, that's totally deadly. Yeah.
that's my
What a
queen
wonderful
right there.
man.
Ah,
There you are. There she is. What an absolute beauty.
she's a
You guys.
powerhouse. I'm telling you, like, it is something. It's very humbling to be on stage with somebody like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it gives me confidence because, like I said, no
Mhm.
matter how bad I fumble the bag on stage, I know they're gonna walk away thinking, "Damn, she killed it," and he
Yeah.
wasn't so bad. So
And he
therefore,
was
I'm kind of her, and like, but with that, it gave me the time and allowed me to be able to develop my skills.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And kind of get more comfortable. And you know, it's like it took a few years touring with her. Like, we've done hundreds of shows together.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, we do pretty well. You know, the first show or two back on tour, like from like off season, could be a little rough because we're getting back in there and predicting each other's moves. But like, give us like 3-4 shows into tour, and it's like we almost got like a synchronized dance going on because like she knows where I'm gonna be. She knows where I'm gonna turn on this lyric. You know, where I'm gonna pop around here. I know where she's gonna stomp and like bellow. Like it's all like you start knowing your other person's moves by like heart, and you're like, okay, this is where he jumps in, or so, you know, she takes the stage, and it's really a cool thing to be able to have that chemistry. And like I said, to not be there alone on that stage, because I had stage fright. I'm working on getting over it, but like I never knew I had stage fright until I got sober performing, because even at 14 years old, you know, I was smoking and drinking in the parking lot, getting snuck around the side, hopping on stage, you know, doing things like that. And then when I got sober, you know, I still like first few shows of tour, I'm shaky, I'm scared. We're about to start. They're like, all right, you ready to start? And like my knees are kind of like buckling a little bit. My throat's dry. You know, I'm hiding behind the speaker right before we go on. I'm telling Kayla, like, I don't know, should we skip this song? Like, I'm not, you know, and I'm doubting myself. And then like the music hits and like it just happens. So if anybody doubts themselves, just remember to trust the process, to trust yourself, because like it's scary. You know what I'm saying? Like being in front of people and performing, and like, because I care so much what they think and I want to do an amazing job. And so like I get nervous. Like I'm like a little kid behind there. I'm shaking, I'm scared. I'm like, huh, knees buckling.
What's so interesting to me is that you pick like you're picking a career that's like got you out there doing that all the time. Like you just out here doing that all the time. Like, I wonder if, because there's got to be something to that, right? Like sex, drugs, and rock and roll exists. That saying exists for a reason. Like that's got to be part of it, right? Like that little bit of like adrenaline, or like, why people lean to that, especially like not to always bring it back to recovery, but like, I don't know. I started riding horses bareback for no good reason when I got clean. So I don't know, maybe that's like, there's a little part of it that's like, I still need that little bit of, dopamine or whatever, right?
Sometimes you just got to jump in, it is like the craziest high though. It is a performer high, doing it. It's crazy because I could speak in front of people, not a problem. Speaking and like telling my story that like the back of my hand, like what I'm saying? I get flown places to speak and paid for it, like around the country, like speaking. Totally. Like I don't even like think about what I'm going to say. I don't get in my head. I don't go by no script. I don't write no notes. I go up there and I just speak, and that becomes so easy for me, right? Because I'm just telling my story and my feelings. So like that, to me, that's nothing, right? But where it really comes tricky is the performing, because it's so scary. And this is all I've ever wanted since 9 years old. And like that right there, just, it tears me apart sometimes. Your stomach gets all twisted up, everything, but you just do it. And, 9 times out of 10, like I've watched footage back where I've been so embarrassed and so mad for like 5-6 hour ride home about how bad I did and horrible I did. And I'm just sitting there looking out the window if I'm not driving. And I'm just sitting there looking out the window. It's silence in the van. And I'm just so mad about how bad I messed up. And then I'll watch the footage back, and she's like, "Oh no, you did good. And I'm like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Watch this." And I'm watching. I was like, "Wind it back." And I'm like, "Wind it back." I'm like, "I messed up. I can't even tell. Like, what?"
Right.
I get in my head, I forgot like a lyric, or forgot, or fumbled it, or you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I got to realize that I will always be harder on myself than everybody else.
Yep.
And that like, you just got to trust yourself. And, me and Manny talk about it all the time. You got to put in that work when no one's looking. If you put in the work and, you're constantly practicing or training and you're hungry for it, and you go through the moves in the process, when it comes showtime, you're probably going to be able to do pretty damn well.
Pretty good. And like, honestly, so just a couple of things. Like, I am so proud of you. Like, I'm so proud of you. Like team foster care all day long. Like, throw that in a hashtag. Like, honestly. And to hear you talk about this with like such tenacity and joy, and like I'm so proud of that. I'm so proud that you like made all that happen. Like, that was your childhood thing, and you didn't know how you were going to get there, and the road went a little windy.
It went crazy.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like, that's a nice way of saying so crazy. But to pull it back in and to put it out there and to still fight your fears, like every show, is just, I'm super proud of you.
Thank you so much. And that's what it is like, you have an option in life. Like, I would never, I talked to both my parents about it. I love them very much. And I let them know that everything happened for a reason. And that I never point no finger. I never point no blame at nobody. If I didn't go through every single thing I did, I wouldn't be able to help the amount of people that I do. And it made me a person of strong will, character. I stand on my morals and my principles. I believe in what I believe in because I went through everything. And so, I believe you have two options in life. If you're, you're dealt with the hand that you're dealt, but do you let that hold you back, or do you use that as fuel? Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I do. That's my story. Like, it launches me and propels me with this fire inside of me that tells me to keep on going, and that, I'm already past the point of no return. There's no other option. You use all the bad stuff and all the stuff that happened to you, and you use that to make you the monster you need to succeed in this life and achieve what you want. It's important.
Amen to that. I mean, I say the same thing all the time. I'm like, I love myself way too much to be mad at anybody for anything that brought me here. Like,
absolutely.
You know,
I never hold no grudges. I never, you know what I'm saying? I just want people to win. I want people to be happy. You know, I played a big part of my hand of how my life turned out. You know what I'm saying? But I'm so excited about where my life is going. Like, I would never want it to be no other way. Like, this is how my life was supposed to happen. Like, everything happened for a reason. Like, and like I talk with my dad, like, can you imagine if I didn't go through the stuff I went through? Like, what would I be rapping about? Like,
Nothing.
Everything would be fake. You know what I'm saying? So
I watch the Grammys. I know what they're talking about. We don't need all that. You don't need all that. I mean,
it's like my life gave me a story. It gave me a purpose. And like we talked before going live, like I never would have thought that I could help people with my music. You know, and be able to make a difference and be able to inspire people just by being a cornball who's, you know, always honest with his feelings and about how he feels. But somebody who keeps going and like, if that inspires people, like, it's crazy. Like, I always believe in, there's that saying, like, you're as strong as your weakest link. They say that with teams. Well, I believe that with like my traits. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to work on and expose my weakest parts of who I am to become stronger. You know, I can't let those things hold me back. I really can't. You know, figure out what holds you back, what's stopping you, what's preventing you, expose it, sit with being uncomfortable and figure out how you can work through it, because that's only going to make you stronger. That's it, you know? So,
sit with your uncomfortable. Isn't
you
that
have to. You have to. That's real, you know?
That it and a lot of people don't want to sit with that. They don't want to sit with none of it. Like, they would rather everybody, you know, come through with the compliments, and like, that's cool too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
You know, I'm down for everybody, like, thanks for all the love.
Absolutely.
Always. But when you can sit with the ugly and sit with the discomfort and that's where it grows. And I mean, there's enough songs out there. The Rose That Grew from Concrete. I don't know. Okay, listen, I know Tupac did it first.
Yeah.
But y'all are bad. Like, that song,
thank you.
Though, it's like, damn,
Concrete Rose.
Okay. Oh, man. Like, yeah. It's like, okay. Like, yeah. No, because and that's,
yeah, she's good. Keep going. She's good.
But it's like that's when all the good stuff happens. Totally.
Yeah.
When you get out of your comforts for a little bit, like, you know, we don't have to wear slacks all the time sometimes.
That's all I can be is real. That's all I can be is offer my authentic self, because like, I'm not the best. I'll never be the best. So many, you know, to be the best, like it's insane, right? I would love to be the best, but the reality is isn't, or that I'm not. But the fact is that I do have something to offer in this world. And I am a real person that goes through real stuff like everybody else. And it's relatable, you know, and that's where I feel like I always try to be in tune with my feelings, because the moment you stop being relatable, you're going to notice a big crowd stop listening. And that's the thing, is like I tell people, is figure out who your target audience is. And that's why we started doing the Road to Recovery tour. How can we find a group of people that would relate to my music? And it was like, treatment centers, right? And it morphed into something bigger, because everybody at treatment centers been through addiction. That's why they're there.
Right, exactly.
So you know what I'm saying? So to have 100% of people in the room that can relate to your music, you know, is such a crazy thing. And I tell people that, especially like artists, like, be yourself. Like, you may be uncomfortable with who you are, but that's the best thing that's going to set you apart from everybody else, because nobody can do Skyler Ray like I can do Skyler Ray. And therefore I am always going to be the best version of Skyler Ray. So in a way, I am the best.
You are the best. Totally. Yeah, no, and we're here for it, man. Like, I mean, outside of it being like a super smart marketing strategy, right? Because
absolutely, it's kind of genius.
It's totally genius. You know, it makes perfectly good sense, and I think that it's not only brave, but it serves so many different purposes, right? And like, you know, we said at the beginning, like, people really do need that. We really do need to hear songs about shit that we're going through, like this fentanyl crisis. I don't know about you, but like,
I've lost so many. I've handfuls, hundreds. I probably lost hundreds, like, especially during COVID. Like, there was times I was losing 2 to 3 a day, like 7 to 10 a week, easily.
We did. So my hometown did 35 in the month of September. 35, man. 35. Like, and it's not just like we're talking like these people all know each other. My mom was calling me like every day. I got like stacks of freaking, you know, the memorial pieces. I thought it was thought it was the damn, I almost threw it in the fireplace the other day as fire starter. I thought it was my recycling. I was like grabbing stuff out of a cup. Like for real, right? Like that's how many people I'm just like, this is insane. Like what is going on? So to hear songs that we like, you know, that are directly, there is no hidden message, that we don't have to read between the lines. Like it is exactly what you think it is. Like, yeah, it's the time is now. And like, you know, I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for you for doing all of that for us. Like,
you know, I didn't know it at the time, but it's like, because sometimes I get questioned. They're like, oh, like Skyler's never in meetings. Skyler's never doing this. And, you know, and then I get in my head sometimes and feel like I need to prove myself because I'm not confident, you know, and then like my other half, Kayla, she'll remind me, she's like, what are you talking about? You know how much service work you do? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I have people that reaffirm it sometimes. Like they'll message me and they're like, you know, like booking me for shows. They'll book me for a show and then they'll do research on me. And they're like, man, I've been doing service work for 30 years and I can't even get close to the amount of service work that you give back. Like what you are doing is unbelievable. And, you know, it's a nice feeling because I don't want to use it as like a marketing scheme. I don't want to use it as anything else. It's just, I don't know what else to say in my music besides my feelings in my life. That's what I got. And that's who I am. So I never want to like fake it or take advantage of anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? I come from under the bridge, sleeping on sidewalks, shooting dope, like, you know, like in and out, like, you know, got Hep C, got rid of it because, you know, when I got clean and sober, but it's like, that was me. I was sharing needles, using puddle water, like in and out, always getting arrested, you know, all picked out, like, you know, in and out of jail and prison, all these different things. Like, I don't know what other story to tell you besides my real life.
I don't think that could ever come off any sort of way. And even the thing is that like, you still have to make money. Like, unfortunately, until we're trading potatoes for carrots or whatever, like you still have to keep the lights on. And so there has to be a little bit of like shamelessness that comes along with that. Right. But I think
there does. It's crazy. I remember we booked a show and there was somebody working there and they wanted to book me and they were all excited. And then he's like, this is absolutely free. Right. And I said, well, we can do it for free if there's no money or no budget. I said, but this is what we charge. And his instant reaction is he turned so mean, his tone of voice. And he said, oh, no, he said, you should be doing this for free. We don't pay nobody to do this. He's like, in recovery, you give back just to give back. And after I got off the phone, I thought, I know damn well you didn't clock in for free today.
No way. No
you know
way.
Like, but the way he turned so nasty on me. But my words were, I can do this for free if there is no budget for this. I have absolutely no problem. But we do charge. And that's how I start every single conversation is that we're willing to do it for free. I always put that out there right away. But this is what we charge. If you're not able to cover that, are you able to meet us in the middle? If not, at the end of the day, the clients are what's important. We would love to come out and make this happen. And so I kind of leave it in their hands a lot of the times, you know? And I remember just the way he turned, like it rubbed me the wrong way. And I was like, I know you clocked in for that paycheck.
100%. 100%. And like, why are we out here taking advantage of people that are really trying to like give back to the communities, man? Like,
it costs so much to run a tour, and like not only like food on the road, hotels, like upkeep on the vehicle, like all the equipment, like on top of that, like we're on the road for months. So it's like I'm still paying bills at home when I'm not even at home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I've filled riders before. I know exactly what you're talking about. And that's the other thing too, right? Like it's one thing to be like, I'll come for free, but then to like you're everywhere, you know, everywhere. There has to be a little love there. Like good for you for like, you know, putting it out there if there is no budget and stuff. But I mean, we all know your value. We see you.
Thank you so much. And it has like every tour has been getting so much better. Now it's like, you know, as the tours go on, we have people that book us our asking price without hesitation, plus flights, hotels, plus, you know, Uber gift cards and making sure they're asking us what our favorite snacks are to have in the hotel room when we arrive. Shout out to Palmer Drug Abuse Program. They above and beyond. But there's a lot of treatment centers that really take us in because when it boils down to it, it's like the people like we'll perform for free if there's no budget, because recovery is what's most important. And I do love giving back and inspiring people. And also the people I meet inspire me to keep going. But at the end of the day, if you don't have a budget because you don't see value in this,
That's a
then
different
that's
conversation.
the thing. And we've ran into those people where we've done free shows where they talk about they don't have no money, but then it's like you could tell it's just they didn't want to pay. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, when you get there, they treat you like you're a nuisance.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, like, oh, like you're in their way. And what time is this going to be done? And like, well, we got class. You think you could end early? And it's like, yo, I don't know if you know this, but we just drove halfway across the country. We've been on the road 32 hours to get to your center.
Do you know who I am? No, I'm just kidding.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, we're already in like $400 or $500 in gas just to get there. It's going to be $400 or $500 in gas back, not to mention hotels, like not to mention. So it's like, this is already costing us $15,000 to $2,000 on this trip just to come see you because you guys didn't have no money. And we're just in the way and we're like a nuisance. And it's like, that's why like we started like booking a little bit differently. I keep tabs on everything. We have a lot of good people on our tour. We have some beautiful sponsors, and, you know, there's a lot of people that do see value in us and what we do. And, you know, life has been working it out. You just like, it's like I said, you just got to keep going step by step, have faith in what you're doing, and things will work out. It honestly always does. So, and it's important to remember that. Absolutely.
Okay. Absolutely. Yeah. I'd cheers to that all day long with whatever your tea, your waters, your whatever. Cause yeah, that's 100% facts. 100% facts.
Yeah.
I have a question for you though.
Go ahead.
So I have a true, genuine, fluid, organic story about how I came across Music Is Our DOC, which we just recently changed. Which we just recently changed to Music Is Our Drug of Choice, because I was like, we could really be, because my grandma keeps asking me like, what is DOC? I'm like, okay, we're just gonna put the words in there. But like, what the actual, like,
that's crazy. That's crazy. I seen that and I was like, yo. So check it out. So we do Music Is My DOC, and some people, it's funny because I'll run into some like old timers. They're like, I rock and no Department of Correction shit. And I'm like, no, this is drug of choice. Like, I don't care. I'm not having DOC on me. You know, I'm like, I do feel that, but okay. You know, it's all right. We got plenty of other stuff, you know?
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, no, we try to make, so like our We to Recover brand is, I feel like, been so successful. So we've been able to move over 18,000 shirts and hoodies of the We to Recover, right? And I believe that the reason why is because it's such a selfless brand, because the brand doesn't represent me, it represents the community.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's the reason why, because it's a proud message. You know what I'm saying? There's only so many people for like merch that are going to rock like a concert t-shirt. You got to be a concert t-shirt wearing person.
100%.
Right. To want to rock it everywhere and do things like that. So Music Is My DOC, we branched off with that. We had like the stop line, We Do Recover, and things like that. But it's an image that, you know, I thought about because it's like, nowadays music is my drug of choice. That is my high. That is what I chase every day. Like I used to chase the bag. You know what I'm saying? And I do believe that music can get you high. You know, and it takes you to a different place. You could cry, you could be excited, you can get pumped up, you know, and it's like the only thing I could relate that to is drugs. Yeah. And so that's where I came from. That's why when I seen it, I was like, what? Because I had my buddy Dan, he's even got it tattooed on him because of it. The Music Is My DOC. And it's just like it's crazy when I seen that, because I was like, that's cool. That's cool.
Listen, there is an old janitor in Red Deer Detox that can 100% like back me up on this shit. Like he watched me white knuckle an AA meeting, and he was like, are you okay? And I was like, this is triggering every childhood thing that I ever, you know, my mom, and like he was just like, okay, maybe this isn't it or whatever. And then I went to sobriety meeting, which is similar, but it's like native influenced, and it was like more about like
the Red Road.
Yeah, the Red Road. Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know our Native American rehabilitation. Yeah, I did that. The Red Road. So I did that.
Holy shit. No one knows what I'm talking about when I say that. They're like, no, like, sure. I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Like, wow. Okay, that's really cool. Okay, so for you guys that are just tuning in, like the Red Road is, I guess it's equivalent to like the big book, right? Like
it is.
Yeah.
More spiritual, more like spiritual. On your journey. Yeah, that's the thing. The Red Road is like walking your journey to success, sobriety. And as long as you stay on the Red Road, like your path, your meetings, your big book, step work, following what you're supposed to be doing, you will make it to the other side.
Absolutely. Man, God, that's refreshing. Okay.
Yep.
That's so refreshing. So yeah, so I checked that out and that was cool. And then, the lady like finally she like made me a fruit salad when she didn't have to. She like went out of her
Yeah.
way. I hadn't eaten in days. Like I was like, totally tore up. Everybody else is like on day 3. I'm on day like 2.5 or whatever. Like just a mess, right?
Difference.
Yeah, there is a huge difference. Yeah, there is a huge difference. And so I like, crawl out of my like whatever and like eat this fruit salad and like finally got like enough energy. And these 2 dudes name, and I probably shouldn't talk about too much, but they know Little John and Big John. And one had an electric guitar and one had an acoustic. And they sat there and I swear like that was what gave me like the oomph to like get through, because there was a moment there where I was just sitting there looking at everybody and looking at myself and I was just like, this ain't it, man. I don't
This
know,
ain't it.
like this ain't it, like there's no way. And up to that point I had never been to like a traditional detox
that was my first treatment was
the
Nara. I've never experienced anything else.
Me neither. Me neither. That's
like,
it. That was it. Like that's the only, and I did it because like, we make promises. I was like, I promised a bunch of people that I had already been clean, and I was like, yeah, sure, you need to go sign this paperwork off. And it's like, okay, well, I can do that for you. But yeah. So anyways, long story short, like I started Pinecase in that detox center, and I convinced the nurses and the janitor to give me a laptop, and I called everybody in, and we like, we each picked, I said, you don't have to say your name or nothing, like just pick a song and we'll all listen to it. And then, we'll talk about it. And we did that. And that's literally like the birthplace of it. And there, my word, I said, that's where it came from. It's written down. I was looking for my journal and shit today. I was like, I got to pull this shit out. Like, this is crazy. So when I seen that, when you were like, hey, like in the email, I'm like, there's no way, man. I'm not even addressing this until we get into this live stream, because that is wild to me. Like,
that is so insane how we have so many similarities, yeah, it's crazy. Like when I seen that, I was like, no way. I was like, hold on a second. You had me go checking my clothing to make sure. Like I was like, I'm music is DOC. I'm like, wait, am I?
That's
Hold on, let me go check.
I was like going back. I'm like, hey, when is the first time we hashtagged that shit? Like it's been, like when was that? I'm like, Calico, you need to run that back. Like, okay, but like, do we run and go coin it? Do we like team up? Like maybe we should just like, oh yeah, I thought that was just the coolest shit. So yeah.
That is so cool. That is really cool. And especially like our first experiences, experiencing like the Red Road. It was cool that we did like sweats. We did like drum circles, all the smudging and everything like that. It was really cool. And then they'd have like the open cafeteria anytime, go make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And I definitely put on like 20, 30 pounds. I was just munching. Had the refillable milk and shit.
That's so funny. PBs and J's all day. That's literally, there's like a PB and J like picture I like found in like a skate magazine and like tore it up and like stuck it to I thought I was so cool. I was like, like it's like probably still stuck up there, like for real. That's wild, man.
That is very wild.
Yeah,
that was very wild. That's cool. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. No.
Absolutely. And yeah, it's inspiring to hear other people's journeys, because like you never know how similar yours is until you hear somebody else's.
Yeah.
And that's what I love, especially like the tour. And like I said, I don't do meetings, but I get a chance to speak with a lot of people, and they remind me what it's like to be in treatment center, to have that doubt, to be scared, to know that you've never been able to be successful at this, but you're giving it another try, because sometimes I lose track of that. You know what I'm saying? Because life is going beautiful and I lose track of, the fear of being afraid and, not believing in yourself and not knowing what your next move is going to be. You have all these thoughts and you're just trying to make somebody proud, even if that's yourself. And so like it's such a refreshing thing to be able to visit these treatment centers and be able to talk to, these addicts like myself, but they're in early recovery. And it gives me that just a little bit more hunger. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you got like this gauge and it keeps just going smaller and smaller because like you're tired, you're wore out, like you're over it. You know what I'm saying? But you get a chance to speak with these people and you're like, that is why I do it. Because when I hear their story, I'm like, that is me. Yeah. So like, I don't think people understand the amount of drive people give me, especially like addicts in recovery, are the amount of like, they refill the gas tank. They truly do. They remind me of what it was like to be hungry and have all these dreams. And, when life gets going good, sometimes you forget the spot that you came from.
Yep.
And so
it's so
it's
easy. It's so
beautiful.
easy to do that, man. Yeah, it's so true, right? Like, I haven't thought about even like that story for like a long time, and so like to think back to like the discomfort and like the water jug that just looked way freakier than anything I'd ever stick in my body. Everybody is like, you're right, like, oh man.
It's nice. It's a nice refresher. It really is. These
Yeah.
people are so amazing, but they're lost. You know what I'm saying? They're lost, and that's why they're there. And, a lot of people get caught up in, I like doing this because in a selfish reason, because the selfish reason in it is, people don't ever think from my perspective of what I need to keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like, I go out there and like everybody gets caught up on like what I've done for others, or, what I've helped people get through, or who I inspired to change their life. But people don't understand. I do this in a very selfish way because like I need them to keep going as well. And that's my meetings. That's my meetings. I go in there and I'm new and I'm like, I like making music. You guys want to hear me? And they're like, sure. And then I do it and they're like, you're so awesome. And I'm like, thank you. Let me hear about you. And then I'm like, damn, they're the ones that are awesome and brave. Like they're the ones like, my life is good right now. They're the ones going through the shit at that moment.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? They're the ones that's scared with their back against the wall, but they keep showing up for themselves. Yeah. And like that's why I say it's very selfish. The reason why I like doing these type of events, because like I'm broken. I need a reason to keep going.
Well, I think it's important that you not only are you an amazing advocate, for like life recovery, and all that good stuff, but I think for men specific, and we can get into that into a second, but I think that like men, men's mental health and all that good stuff, but also a wicked advocate for the people that are out there that are like sweating it, like white knuckling it, and maybe because detox isn't for them. And I'm not saying no shade, no, I would never ever push anybody away from traditional, the traditional structure at all ever.
I always recommend it, but I do let them know there's other ways.
There's other ways. And I think like, the numbers don't really represent a whole lot of success anymore, unfortunately. And the other side of it, where you have individuals like yourself or myself who didn't go down that route, like I think it's really important to advocate that as well, so that people don't feel stupid. I had people like, man, I can't even tell people that I did this alone. So I just lie and tell them that I'm a part of the fellowship, because they'll never believe me and they'll never believe that I got sober that way. And I'm like, because
we definitely are doing it alone are not in the meetings telling people that they did it alone, because so all you hear is like fellowship and this and that. Sometimes people will be talking to me and they're like, you got to do fellowship. You got to do this. You got to hit meetings. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't know all the answers, but I and at the time it's like, I just celebrated 6 years. So it's like, I don't know the answers better than anybody, but like, I know me. Yeah. Like I know what works for me, and this is working. And of course it would help to be able to build more of a fellowship in that way. But like, I do understand, like every person is different. Every person is unique. Not every medicine works for everybody. Not every, thing works for, like, we got to understand that we are different. We are unique, and what speaks to us. And because like, if we are not motivated and inspired, why are we going to keep going?
Facts.
So that's
absolute facts.
Yeah.
It's absolute facts. If you're not recovering from life, like if you're just recovering from just the drugs or the substances, like it's never going to work that way. Like you really do got to look at it like 360 and like figure out something that you can implement into your daily routine. Hardcore.
You got to figure out why you're broken. So like, people, we've been drinking and drugging so long that like, why did we start? Right. So like, it's like the drugs are like headphones, alcohol, whatever. It's like headphones. So you remove the headphones from the person and all the noise comes back in, right? They're starting to hear all these noise and they don't know how to deal with it. And on top of that, it's like they don't know how to maneuver the sound. And so it's like, I truly believe, like, figure out what motivates you, figure out why you're broken. And that's why I try to be so honest with my flaws and my, and the reason why I had shortcomings, because like, you got to understand that, like, just because we remove the drugs doesn't mean you're fixed. There's so many deeper issues involved, and it's important to let people know that, because like, people think you get clean and everything just falls in line. You know what I'm saying? And I always tell people, you got to be kind to yourself and patient. And I should take my words more than I tell. It's easy to preach it, but sometimes it's hard to follow, right? So like, I always tell people, be kind to yourself, be patient, which I struggle at big time, right? But I tell people that because everybody thinks you just get clean, and then like, you got like that attractive significant other, you have like that great job, you have the cool friends, you got everything you want, you got the dog, the house, you got the car, you got on the rims, like you got, and it's like, whoa, hold up. You got
like that.
You got 6 months. Good job. But like, how about 6 to 10 years before that stuff comes in?
Yeah, man. Like, it ain't like that. It ain't like that at all. And you know what? I never really thought about it like headphones, but that's it. Like, I always say like, you guys we're self-medicating, right? We're self-medicating. And I had this conversation. My partner is never. He don't know. That ain't it. He has no idea. He's an old country boy, right? Like,
yeah.
And so he appreciates me, and he appreciates what I'm about and what I'm doing, but he has no idea what the hell I'm talking about half the time. And so like, I'm like, man, it's self-medicating. Like, especially, if you got ADHD and you're smoking meth, and he's like, I thought meth gave you ADHD. I thought that like it made you
not if you have ADHD.
And I was like, not if you, He's just like,
basically the same medication they're giving you by doctors. Obviously, it's different, but it works the same way, right? Just if you don't have ADHD and you take the ADHD medication, you're going to feel like you're tweaking.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, exactly. I was like, man, methamphetamine is exact same as amphetamine. He was just like, you're lying. Like, there is no way. Like, this is it. I'm like, listen, I'm telling you, like, it is. And so, like, it's crazy to think, but that's what it is. It makes it quiet. It makes it tolerable. It makes everything more relaxed and easy. And
it numbs your emotions.
Hear all of that shit. Yeah, man.
Shit happens. You're like, I don't care. Do I got a bag? All right, cool. I'm good.
Yeah, right.
And so like, that's what I always tell people. It's like, you get clean. And that's why like, it's important to work on yourself and understand what your character defects are. Because like, you have to be able to maneuver life. And like, we got this one body, this one mind, and we are wired the way we are wired. And so like, we got to dig deep sometime into our trauma. We got to work through it. We got to understand what makes us tick. And, my best thing is be kind, be patient, take this time to understand who you are. And that's what I tell people in treatment. Like, what I'm saying? Do the stuff they ask for you, of course, stay out of trouble, but take this right now, because although the rest of the world is moving on and we worry about our significant others, what our kids are doing, everything like that. But this is the only time in your life you're going to get this time to be able to relax, focus on yourself without all the distractions, truly take this time to understand who you are and what direction you want to go. Because when you leave those gates, or when you get released and you get put back into society, all that noise is going to be flooding back in, and you can't turn to the drinking and drugging no more. So like, who are you? Why do you crumble when this pressure is applied? How do you maneuver? Understand that, okay, this really hurts me and I crumble when this happens. How can I avoid this? Or how can I build a barrier so I'm able to take these hits when they come at me? And so like, I'm so big about that. My biggest thing is like dreams. You have to go after your dreams. Like, you have to go full-fledged, because like, we deserve it. We get one life. There is no wind back. There's no replay button. Like, if you have dreams, like, I don't care if you are not good at it. I don't care if you don't know where to start. You just start. Yeah,
man. Speaking of starting, I'm going to play this track. We don't have to listen to the whole damn thing, but I think we can give people a little bit.
Yeah, you play whatever. You can play whatever. I'm cool. I'm chilling. So I'm good. The song right here is called Keep Dreaming. It's about never giving up. That one is so large. Yeah.
Ever had them dreams at last. Run it up, 40 out dash, do the math, diaper rash, baby. Stating facts, dating back, take me back when I was little. Life was simple. I had dreams of balling like I dribble, but I dropped it. I just stopped it, hit the block and got it popping. Out of pocket like I'm robbing, check it like I'm mobbing. Got that Whitney like I'm Bobby. In the building like I crashed into the lobby. No one stopped me, I'm a zombie. On the block they call me Poppy. Up like I drank some coffee. Tuck, I'm a slave like Dobby. What the they just locked me, got me probably in a cell. When I get out, I'ma run it back, NFL. You could tell if I put my life on a record, it will sell.
The right moment, put my life on it. Yeah.
Wait, the hands right here too.
It's the right moment, I put my life on it. This the right moment, put my life on it. Ray though, that's my brother. For him, we get your mother. What's up? Hey, look, I was in the kitchen with the right components. Really got that drive, I put my license on it. And I never lose, got the right opponents. They won't see me fall and quit, that ain't what I'm calling it. You know me, balling in every actual essence of the word, yeah. Say it in a different language, and it's still whoa. And I'm really up off that curve, never splurged unless I had to. Really from the curve, F my dad too. Really from the curve, did it cause I really had to. So we different, we are not the same. This my real life, this my real life. I was never out there just to say I did it. Was really out there cause I had to live it. This was really me, every day up in that kitchen. Every day, trying to find a way. I was in the kitchen with the right components. Really had that drive, I put my
love this
life
sound.
Yeah.
I do all the mixing and mastering too. I'm proud of that record. And that's the whole thing with that track right there. It's like, no matter where you come from, you gotta keep dreaming on, right? Because things ain't what it seems. So you gotta be able to push past that. And that's keep dreaming right there. That's the first verse, and then my buddy King Hansen on the second. And that's what I was talking about. Like, you have to, that's my circle right there. I hit him up, like, what did you do today? He's like, I made like 5 songs. And I'm like, how? I've been on the same verse for 3 days. You know what I'm saying? How? You know?
What?
I love that song. It's a big sound. That hook comes on. Oh, yeah. I love it. Thank you. Thank you.
All the things. I was like, when earlier, I'm like, you want to throw me a couple? Like, and honestly, I was like, it doesn't really matter because not that it doesn't matter, but like, you could talk about any of them. Like, they're all that good. Like, I wasn't worried about none of it because I was just like, yeah, this would be easy. But yeah, that cut is like.
That one's a good one. I'm excited about that one. It's been doing really good numbers, and I love releasing music with my buddy Woe. He's from the East Coast. We've met up in Washington, Oregon, New Orleans, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island. We've been all over the country together, but it's cool because he just reached out to ask me about what my merch means. You know what I'm saying? And like, he's never dealt with addiction. He's from the streets. He's been caught up with drug dealing, all this different stuff like that. But more like gangs and like poverty and like, you know what I'm saying? So it's really cool because he's so hungry. You know what I'm saying? And just to watch him work, like he's very inspiring, and to be able to see him develop mentally and more mature from the moment I met him. Like he thinks before he acts now. And so, like, I'm super proud of him. Like,
that's
like
most of it right there.
I would get so many crazy calls when we first met. He's like, "Yo, I'm about to go." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, "Yo, chill out. You can't do that." He's like, "No." And I'm like, "Yo." And nowadays he'll call me and he's like, "So this happened. It makes me upset, but you know what? Forget him." And I'm just like,
"Damn,
that's crazy," because he really came from the streets. Like, a lot of his family's been murdered, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, family on crack and all this different stuff like that over in Providence, Rhode Island. And it's like, he's doing stuff and like, he's cool people. He's good people. And he works so hard. So I was like, yeah, he's in my circle. So,
Wicked, man. Those are like the best stories, because when you come from that, like when you really come from that, I mean, not everybody chooses to come from that, you know
Absolutely.
what I mean? So, you know, whatever, but like when you really come from that and you can find that little bit of space between you and the shit, and you're like, okay, like I can think a little bit more before I react, and like, you know what I mean? And you start seeing like the closet start getting bigger, but for different reasons, not because you're out there grinding, but because you're really putting it in, and like you start appreciating things a little bit differently. Like you know when you see those people.
He's such good people, and it's really cool because he wears his heart on his sleeve. He's such a good person, you know, and you know, he's very open about his life. And I think it's really cool for what he's doing, and he's always supported my positive message. You know, and just to be able to see him grow and to be able to see him, you know, tackle music from the business side. You know, I'm able to learn a lot from him, and it's really cool being able to show him some things as well, because we both out here blind. We're like blind mice trying to lead each other.
Right.
I'm like, sometimes we'll be on calls and I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, me neither. And he's like, what do we do? I'm like, let's just do it. You know?
Yeah. Sounds like half of the meetings I've had lately, I'm just like, Google it. We'll Google it. Like, we'll figure it out. Just book it, handle it. We'll make it work. Yeah. Totally.
That's like one of my best friends right there, you know, and it's really cool because we're on the other side of the country. We always tell each other, I'll meet you in the middle. And we always meet each other all over the country. Like, we shot videos in Chicago. We've rocked shows in Chicago. We've done shows in Washington, shot videos in Washington, Oregon. We shot videos in New Orleans, Massachusetts, Connecticut. Like, we've shot videos like so many places, but it's cool because, like, you know, we both got out around the same time. We both did 2 years of prison and both got out. And it's like, we just have dreams of doing music.
Man, a couple of kids. Like, you were talking about living under a bridge for real. Like, you guys are out here like that right now. Like, what?
It's crazy. It's crazy. I have nothing but respect for my boy. He's a good people. And most importantly, no matter where he's come from, he's always had a golden heart. So I love that. And I respect that about him. So absolutely.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, no. And like, I mean, we're here for the dudes, period. Like, it's Pinecase Men's Mental Health and Music, and always has been since the beginning, because there's not enough of that. But to hear you like talk like that about your homie, like, that's
thank you.
Man. Yeah,
he's good people. He's good people. He's crazy.
Love
crazy and so unpredictable. Like, he does stuff sometimes, and you just have to like laugh because you're like, damn, my boy's crazy as shit.
Right.
You know, because he's off the hook. And I'm just like, yo, I'm not supposed to do that right here.
That's so wild. That's so, I mean, and like, you're dropping music all the time. Like, tell me about freaking Billy Goat. Like, how did that?
We shot that in Connecticut.
Okay.
So shout out to Coach. He threw the assist on that one. He booked it for us to set us up. We went out there. And we did that video. We've been dropping. I've been dropping every 2 weeks. Just trying to stay consistent, stay in the algorithms.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, with that. But yeah, Billy Goat was really cool. We wanted to do something. We actually had that song sitting on my hard drive for a few years, and I found it, and I was like, yo, I was like. I was like, you remember this? He's like, yeah. He's like, did we drop that already? I was like, nah.
Did we drop that already?
I was like, all right. I was like, you want to drop it? He's like, yeah, bro. So we drop it, and then we decided when we meet up every year in Connecticut. You know, for my buddy Coach Tony, he does an overdose awareness event. His son passed away, and so a lot of people in the community, we do it on the town green. It's crazy. I go there, I'm like shaking hands with the mayor and everything. Like, it's insane. Like, Coach Tony is the man. Like, I don't want to talk too much, but he's the man, right? And but we went out there and we shot the video. I was like, oh, this is the idea I have, and he found a farm and he called him and booked it and paid for it, and just like, so we went out there and we shot the video, and you know, we shot that actually last August, but I think we just dropped it like 2 days ago. So yeah, that's Billy Goat.
Yeah, congratulations on that. I mean, I don't usually post pictures of my personal life, but I was like, I got a tractor photo. Hold on, let me dig this.
Hey. Did you have boots on when you were on the tractor?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
You gotta have boots on. Or were you the one of the people that told me I gotta have boots? Yes, you were.
No. I said, I still own my boots because I've seen everyone tearing you right up. Like, I was like, listen, we also wear, like, you don't have to have boots on, like, depending on.
I didn't know. Hey, I was in there with my gear. I had like goat poop all over me. I was chilling. I had baby goats on my arm, just poop all over me. It's just like, there were so many cool little baby goats.
If you had really poop on you, then you did not need cowboy boots on. Like that.
No, like, I was tore up. We had bags. We laid down on the seats when I got back in the car and everything like that.
You're cool. You're cool.
We were out there with the Billy Goats for real.
It's all good. Yeah, I'm looking here now. Yeah, no, if you had poop on you legitly, then it's like, what else are you gonna do? That's what all the farmers come out there looking like, end up leaving like none of us got. Everyone uses their cowboy boots for like going to dances and stuff at this point. Like no one's really out there tearing up the field with their fancy.
It was fun. We did it. It was really cool. We shot it maybe in a couple hours. It was a very easy shoot. We had the little Bluetooth speaker and we just did it. We always do that. We just try to guerrilla take over any scene or like anywhere.
But it looks hella good. Like it doesn't look that way. Like it looks hella good. You guys like slid in there. Like I seen the little like mini video you threw up and stuff in the reels. I was like, okay, let me check this out. Like what's happening here? Like no, I like it. It's a good try.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Well,
Kayla did the video as well, so she always. She like I said, she's good at stuff I'm not good at or don't have the patience for. So shout out to Kayla for the execution on that. Yeah. She definitely does her thing.
Man, you guys keep a good team. Before we let you go, I do want a little detail on this Music and Mayhem situation because I think a lot of the people that are hanging out, like that's a natural like thing for them to go and check out. And congratulations on the show. I seen the new poster today. I was stoked. I was like, that looks awesome. But yeah, you want to run the people through a little bit about what that show's about?
Yeah, so every Wednesday, first I was a guest on My Fight Our War with Manny. And then we chopped it up organically. Like we spoke for like 30 minutes beforehand, and then OG was telling us, hey, we're like 10 minutes later going live. We're like, oh God, let's go live. We chopped it up for like an hour and a half, and then we spoke for like another half hour afterwards. And then he was like, we should do a show together. And so that's kind of how it came apart. The music comes from my part and Mayhem kind of from both of us, right? He's lived a rough and tumble, interesting life. So, he's the Mayhem, I'm the music. And so you could catch us usually on time. We're a little but it's supposed to be 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern every Wednesday on Facebook, YouTube, things like that. I will get it up on all the other streaming services like iTunes, Spotify here soon. It's just a learning curve. I got to figure that out because I'm used to using DistroKid, but that's for like music. So I got to figure out what platform, because we use StreamYard as well, so we could extract the audio and just put it up there. So it will be everywhere eventually here soon. But yeah, we're kind of crazy. We have fun, we joke, we laugh, we go over like topics of like addiction or just kind of what's going on in our life. We try to make it kind of just like two friends, kind of just BSing.
Yeah. It's awesome. For you guys that don't know, we're just hanging out. Manny Vitale is actually going to be on the show Thursday, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So I had you guys both this week, which is super exciting. And I was like, yeah, we definitely got to plug Music and Mayhem. Manny's got a wicked story too. And I'm super, super excited to have
crazy story. Crazy story. I don't want to ruin it for everybody. Make sure.
No, me neither.
But like he's been through some stuff, that's for sure. And it's crazy, like, because he's quickly became one of my close friends. And it's just interesting, like knowing like his story. I never thought like I'd become friends with who he was in his past. And it's just like, it's just wild that like on the outside, like you grow past yourselves and we have ourselves. Yeah. And like you meet people and like he has a good heart. That's a definitely requirement for like if you're going to be like one of my close friends, you have to have a good heart. I don't want to question what you're doing and when I leave the room. And I don't necessarily mean stealing, but I mean like how you treat people, how you act in public, the way you approach a situation where it catches you off guard. How do you handle that? And that's why it's like I have to have people that are go-getters and got to have a good heart. You have to, if you're going to be in my circle, because like my circle is so small. Yeah. Like if I'm going to rep you like a brother, like you have to be on point, Well,
man, he checks all those boxes. He's somebody like we've been talking about doing a show, like, or just having him on as a guest or whatever for like probably about a year. And like,
Yeah.
when you can't book somebody, not because you don't want to, but like, because we're friends, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but like, because there's just that much happening and we know we can shelf each other like that until the time lines up. Like, that dude is on the steady grind, and I'm just super, super impressed with everything that he's doing now. And dude, like,
he's always
on
live,
the
always
grind, man.
live.
Always.
Yeah, I wake up in the morning, he's on because he's 3 hours ahead of me.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I go to bed, he's on, and it's just like he's always on, and I'm just like, this is insane because like, but that's what he loves. It's like how I love music, and I'm always trying to do something music, whether it's promotion or social media or whatever. Like, that's his love, and that's what he wants to do, and that's the go-getter. He's working when I'm not looking.
Right.
Like, I don't want to have to remind my teammates to have to work, because like, if I'm going for the championship, I need my teammates to be grinding in the gym, getting it when I'm not around. That's a requirement.
Totally, man.
So
Very
it's a beautiful
cool.
thing.
Oh
Yeah,
man, you
absolutely.
guys are wicked. I was like, wait a second, what is this? What's happening? Who are, like, because I don't think, much like yourself, like, he ain't really trying to let everybody in either. Like, none of us really have time for that anyway. But like, he's a genuine dude, and so I was like, all right, man, this is actually kind of neat. Like, what's happening? So I'm watching Music of Mayhem. I'm like, oh, man, this is kind of neat.
It's so cool. It's so cool. Even the short period of time that I've known him, like who he's rubbing elbows with, what he's doing, the dedication, the flights back and forth, filming all the shows, flying out to New York, doing all this stuff, constantly seeing him like putting in that work, and like, because it's like training time when he's on live all the time, right? That's training time. He's
100%.
only going to get better and better and better. He's putting in the hours, the 10,000 hours to be a master of your craft.
I was just going to say that. Yeah, you got to get that 10,000 hours in, man. Yeah, he's been, for real. He's got to be getting close, actually.
He's got to be close if he ain't hit it, right? But it's just to see how everything has developed in his life. And it's cool because we talked about, me and him are big about like not forcing stuff. And so like we talked about at the beginning, kind of joking around, like, oh, I'd love to like be on tour stops with you or different things. And I was like, for sure. I was like, we'll see what happens. And I didn't mean that in like, it won't happen, but like, I'm going to continually doing music. Like, I know that regardless. So like, if you're continually doing what you're doing, it's going to happen. That's why I was like, let's not force it. And we both agreed on that. And it's like, now it's like me and him, we got a planned getaway happening in April. We're going off the grid. OG, him, me, and Kayla. We're going to be doing some stuff. We will be going live and podcasting while we're doing it. But on top of that, it's like he's going to meet up with us in Connecticut. Then I'm going to go out there to his studios, do that. He's going to be flying back to Portland with me the day after the show. We got a show on the 30th and a show on the 1st of September. So it's really cool to be able to see all these things happen. Kind of like back when me and Kayla were joking around, sharing laughed as two strangers in dreams, and now we're doing it. Yeah. So it's an amazing journey. Like he's a cool people, and OG is solid to have on the team. She keeps them together. She's like a Kayla, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I work hard, but I'm all over the place. So Kayla like kind of puts me back on my path, and I'm like, okay, like
reins you guys back in,
and running, put me down, I take off,
Oh my god!
And that's kind of how it is.
That's hilarious. Yeah, when they first started going, or maybe not first, but when I like started kind of tapping into it, and I was just like, hey, what is she like? Because we don't really know. I mean, I like Palico. 24/7 all day long. She might not be on a poster anywhere, but like she's on everything. Her name is on
constantly working.
Constantly. And but I was like, man, she's got the same attitude, the same drive. She's in there moderating and shooting comments. I was just like, oh, okay.
I see her in the comment section right now.
Yeah. Oh, is she?
Yeah. I see her chopping it up. Yes.
Oh man, it's too much love, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Too much love.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful thing. It truly is. I'm grateful to be who I am. I wouldn't change anything in my life. Everything has led me down this path, and I understand the reason is greater than myself. So I'm just going to keep trusting in my recovery, keep trusting in God, and just keep stepping forward. That's all I can do.
Yeah, amen to that. On the way out, you guys, do you want to plug where everybody can go ahead and find you at? Because if you guys haven't shared, followed Skyler Ray everywhere, please go ahead and do that. There's a couple of songs, and we'll leave you guys out with one as we head out. But man, when I say there is some songs in there, I've lost 3 brothers, all for different reasons, a couple for drugs, and that's not including all the friends and family and all that stuff. But those are three actual brothers. Like there was a couple songs in there that really caught me in my feelers today that were the songs I didn't know I needed to have in the playlist. So you guys go ahead and go and check that out and go and drop those in those playlists because they're a necessity at this point. Like we all need there's a toolkit. We need our first aid kit. We need our naloxone kit, and we need Skyler Ray up in our
let's go.
playlist, so.
Thank you so much. Music is my recovery so much, like through and through. It's my therapy. I write songs, I cry, I share stuff that I don't even feel comfortable speaking with anybody, but I share it to the world. It's crazy how that happens, right? Like I won't tell people what I'm going through, but I'll share it with the world to my deepest feelings, you know? So to make sure you check me out, it's spelled just like it's on the screen, Skyler, and then Ray, Ray. That is my first and middle name. As getting sober, I want to be as authentic as possible. Ray has been passed down. It's my dad's middle name, and his godfather's name was Ray. So I thought, what else legacy would I want to build than that? So Skyler Ray, I'm an artist in long-term recovery. You can find me on any major streaming platform, Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, Apple Music, anything, Pandora. But also, with that being said, please check out Kayla Mulcahy. That is K-A-L-A and then Mulcahy, M-U-L-C-A-H-Y. Go check her out. She's the star of the show. I promise you that. You guys see my face all the time, but hands down, like she is the talent that carries me through everything. So go look us up. There's lots of things. Also, social media. Give me a follow. Shoot me a message. I answer every single message that comes through. I promise you that. Every single message. So even if you just want to flex your recovery, if you want to say hello, if you want to just share something with me, my inboxes are 100% safe space. I never judge. You know what I'm saying? And that's a policy I live on, is you will never be judged. I will never make you feel like less for your mistakes. Come as you come, and you will be accepted in open arms, and you will be loved. I promise you that.
Oh my goodness. I threw up her music video actually that I was listening to earlier in the comment section. Calico's got all the links in the comments. Yeah, don't be shy. For those of you that are looking for a naloxone kit, go ahead and head over to your local pharmacy and pick them up. You can also ask for harm reduction tools, instruments, all the things. Calico Hunt has them. You can ask her. She's got no problem sending them around. Tiana, she might not be in the comments tonight. Actually, I didn't catch her in there yet. But if she's in there, she's down in the States doing the same thing. You guys, the information is out there. 250-289-3948 is our warm line. It's there for you if you guys want to know where that information is. If you want to just chat, if you need to know where you can go when you're ready to go there, you can text in or call. It's not a big deal. That's 250-289-3948. And of course, #988 will give you guys the suicide. Actually, I wouldn't want to say international, but it is the, you guys have it down in the States. We have it up here in Canada. That's #988. That'll give you guys the suicide prevention hotline. So go ahead and use those numbers and make sure that you aren't in this, because we're out here and we see you and we love you and we know how absolutely treacherous this path is, and you don't have to do it by yourself. So go ahead and use those numbers, get your kits, get your harm reduction. I don't want to say the things, because you know what I mean? It looks different for everybody. If you guys need a clean pipe and a piece of tinfoil, that's cool too. We just want to make sure that you guys are safe. And
that's what's important. We want to make sure you guys are alive, so when recovery is ready, you guys are there. You know what I'm saying? It's important. Like wherever you're at in life, always take the proper steps to protect yourself at all costs, and like definitely hit those numbers, guys. Hit my inbox, whatever. No judgment. I don't care where you're at in life. I will accept you how you are. And I appreciate your message, seriously, and everything you guys do on this podcast. It's a beautiful thing. And it's a privilege to be on here.
Oh, the honor is absolutely all of ours. Like, I can speak for everybody in the community, the admin, Calico program, everybody around. We're super honored to have you on. Thank you so much for doing everything that you do.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely. For you guys out there, actually, let's throw that track on. I'll throw a picture up. You guys can listen. I mean, I wasn't gonna
Is it Heartbeat? Is it Heartbeat?
It's that, yeah,
Okay,
it's
okay.
yeah. So I mean, like, just so you know, like, you guys, you don't have to stay around and listen to it, but you will, because it's it is what it is. It's so good.
So can I say something? So this track right
yeah.
here, we filmed her parts at Laguna Beach, California, because it's pretty like she is. She's not in recovery. She don't suffer from addiction. But I wanted to get something beautiful that captures her essence and her spirit. So we filmed it at Laguna Beach. We filmed our hotel scenes in Las Vegas. And then we filmed mine at the Grand Canyon because, addiction, it's scary loving somebody when you recently started loving yourself. And so, like, it feels like you're on the edge. And so, and you could fall off any second. So that's the reason why we filmed my scene at the Grand Canyon. This song right here, me and Kayla are such private writers. We never write in front of each other. We never do nothing in front of each other. It's always lay something down and bring the next one in. Kayla woke up one night at like 2, 3 a.m. I'm not sure if she was asleep or not, but it woke me up. She went over to a desk and started writing. And after like 15 minutes, I was kind of irritated. I was like, what are you doing? Come back to bed. And she's like, hold on. And then the next day, she's like, you want to hear what I was working on last night? And so she did this, right? And mind you, I take so long to write verses and songs and everything like that. I wrote this verse in probably like 10 minutes. It came so easy. Like, I didn't stop. It was word after word. And I laid it down in like 2 or 3 takes, and it came the most natural. And I would say it is probably favorite of all my supporters. Everywhere we go, the crowd sings it for us. Like, it's beautiful. It is called Heartbeat, and that's how the song became.
I can feel your heartbeat. I can feel your heartbeat. Tell me all the places that you wanna go. I can feel your heartbeat. Show me all the ways that our love can grow. I can feel your heartbeat. I can feel your heartbeat. Cruising down the highway, feeling for your fingers, taking every breath like it's meant to be. What if I close my eyes? Would you be there to guide me? Leave me with my eyes cannot see for me. The seasons, they are changing. I don't have much patience. I need you to tell me that you're here for me. This world will keep on turning. I'll never stop learning. Tell me that you're ready to be free. I can feel your heart. Tell me all the places that you wanna go. I can feel your heart. Show me all the ways that our love can grow. I can feel your heartbeat. I can feel your heartbeat.
I can feel your heartbeat, picture a car seat. Lately living sober, this is my 3rd try at life. I'm afraid of starting over, now I'm just being honest. On a broken road of broken dreams, I'm afraid to break a promise. Look, I know I want you, I'm just being realistic. Judging by my history and looking at statistics. It's funny cause in a way you're a drug and I'm addicted. Since I dealt with addiction, I've been afraid of commitment. Like living life in the fast, she doesn't judge me by my past. I want this forever and they say love doesn't last. I took those stereotypes, threw them out the window and hit the gas. She got me chasing the fragrances like I used to do with cash. Left my fears on the side of the road like signs that we passed. You got my heart racing like we doing $120 on the dash. Down a one-way, I'm just afraid if I crash. Are you gonna stick around? I've been afraid to
I can
ask.
feel your heartbeat.
Love this song.
Yeah.
I can feel your heartbeat. I can feel your heartbeat. Tell me all the places that you wanna go. I can feel your heartbeat. Show me all the ways that our love can grow. Cruising down the highway, feeling for your fingers, taking every breath like it's meant to be. What if I close my eyes? Will you be there to guide me? Leave me with my eyes cannot see for me. The seasons, they are changing. I don't have much patience. I need you to tell me that you're here for me. This world will keep on turning. I'll never stop learning. Tell me that you're ready to be free. I can feel your heart. Tell me all the places that you wanna go.
She's golden, I'm telling you.
I can feel your heart. Show me all the ways that our love can grow. I can feel your heartbeat. I can feel your heartbeat.
It's it's our life, and that's the thing is like this tour, we literally hop in the van and drive around and like put on these shows, and like it took 2,000, 3,000 calls to get 28 yeses, and that's how like the Road to Recovery tour started. Um, she's so amazing. I love her. I'm very lucky. I'm very lucky. Like she helped me. I couldn't rap on beat until I met her for like 18 years. None of my friends would tell me that my music wasn't good or needed help. And for like the first album, that album right there, she would literally cut me and put me on beat. Every single pocket. That song right there, Move Stuff, put it in there, right? And then we did a whole tour off that album. And it's like I learned how to like rap on beat. So it's like I owe her everything. She was one that believed in me. She's my best friend. She's my partner. She makes me want to become a better man. And she's the reason why I grind so hard, because on hard days, I have to realize that she took a chance on me. So it's like, I need to make sure I step up and do what I got to do. And anyways, I just put her on the mic and she just does. She's incredible. So
you guys, man, it's too much. Like it's too much. Listen, like not to make this about me, but I usually do. My son, and we were just hanging out today and we were listening to you all day long. And like, there's a minute where you like catch a kid doing something. He's just, just vibing. And I was like, man, I could listen to this all day long. Like it just brought so much peace into the household. And it like, I mean, the music's great and all that, but it's her voice, like the way she does what she does. Like
it's different.
It just, the whole vibe in the house was like, boom. Like it was tangible, man. That's why I said, like, it matched up my whole makeup. Like I don't just say
crazy.
That. Like,
yeah.
I was sitting here red-eyed the whole time, just like, man, like that. Yeah.
She has that magic, that effect. And that's what she does to my life. She like calms it down.
Yeah.
Like it is so amazing to have a partner that believes in you and, brings so much to the table. On top of that, like how talented she is, like it is next. Like I said, I've worked with, platinum artists. I worked with Grammy award-winning sound engineers. I worked with like Grammy-winning producers, like all these like big names, famous names that people would know.
I didn't even drop them in there tonight, man. I read your bio. I know exactly what's going on. Like it is wild.
And she is hands down the most talented artist that I've ever worked with or ever met, and that's my partner. Like how, you know what I'm saying? Like, tell me God isn't good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, man. Like, and there's got to be something to that, because we all know about like frequencies and heal, or not all of us, but there is definitely something to that, and it's important. And we'll like, I think what is it, frequency 432 or something like that. Like there's got to be something that she's hitting that in her, with her lyric, like
it has to be something. Yeah,
it has to be, because it's not the same as others. It's just not the same.
We get into so many places that like I said, jails, prisons, like schools. We get into all over the country, rehab centers. And it's crazy because when I first started pitching, they always think, we're not letting some rapper in here. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And then they hear it and they're like, oh my God, like really? And I was like, yeah, like she sings. And they're like, your message is good, but like her, like, oh my God, like, okay, so is that a yes? Can we come through? She's amazing. I'm very blessed. Like I said, she makes me want to be better. I have a lot of flaws I need to work on, but like at the end of the day, I got her and I got Pound Cake. So like I'm willing to figure out what I got to do to make this life work. She deserves the world, and I want to make it happen.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's pretty obvious that that's what you're doing all the time. Like,
thank you.
Yeah, it's obvious that, I mean, it doesn't take a real like a rocket scientist to kind of figure out that you guys were obviously meant to be. And I know people say that, like, oh, it's meant to be. I don't know. I don't have all the answers to all the world's problems and stuff like that. But, it's really hard to ignore something like that comes through like that. And to you guys' roads crossed, now you're out here doing that, and it doesn't matter whether you give back or not. Like that's not up for debate, but like to come across somebody else in your life for you like that, like to be each other's people like that, like that's like once in a lifetime type of stuff.
She really is like to have somebody who tells me don't worry about losses, just go out there and chase your dream.
Yeah.
Like that's such a free, and it's such a weight off my shoulder, you know, to be able to have that, to know that like she's literally rooting for me and knows that I'm going to fail a bunch along the way. And that's okay.
That's okay.
And that's okay. You know?
I'm going to throw her name up on the screen so that
Yes,
way
please.
everyone
Yes,
can
please.
get,
Let's go. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, it is. You guys go and check her out. Honestly, like you'll not be disappointed. It's something. It's next level. And you know what? Again, I don't really talk about my personal life a whole lot. I talk about my own story, not really,
Yeah.
you know, the things in it. And yeah, I mean, life is challenging sometimes, especially with like a little one, and it gets a little hairy, you know, and the pressure is a little bit lots. And you know, I still work at 8-hour day, you know, for Pinecase and stuff like that. So to be able to experience your guys' music, you know, or your music, and then to like check her out, it was just, you know, everyone was chilling by the end of it. Like
That's cool.
Eat up, relaxed. And
that warms my heart. It really does. I just want to see people win. I just want to see people be a better version than they thought they can be. And that's really like my life mission. Of course, do the music and do everything, man. But I really love the path that I'm on. Mm-hmm. I really love that I get to affect people's lives and be able to learn their story, but also motivate them to want to achieve and chase dreams. Cause it's like, I don't want people like, yes, I want people to get clean and stuff like, but I don't want people to get clean and settle. Because we didn't get clean to settle. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we, you know, as kids, we wanted to be rock stars and astronauts and, you know, doctors and police officers and firemen and like all this different stuff. And then like people tell you that's unrealistic and get a job and do this and like, you know what I'm saying? And settle. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's like, we as humans are meant for so much stuff. And like, if we can get past addiction, like, you know how many fail? Like, you know, if we can make it past addiction, like the world is our oyster. Let's go for it.
100, man. That's the thing. Like if you can beat that, like if you can beat that, like you're gonna be fine.
You're untouchable. You know
like,
what I'm saying?
You're
gonna be fine.
You know
how many times we walk past the mirror and say bad stuff about ourselves and this and that, and like, you know how many times we have fallen and teared everything down and like lost trust of everybody we've known, and then get it back and then lose it again and get it back and lose it again. And then so if we're able to get on our feet and stay on our feet, like we are the real champions. No one is stronger than an addict. I truly believe that. Like we literally put ourselves and volunteer for hell time and time and time again. And then we stand up and then we integrate back into regular society. You know?
How crazy is that? I don't even like, how crazy is that? I never actually take the time to think about what that actually looks like. But how crazy is that? Someone said that to me. They're like, I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be successful. It was when I was like first pitching Pinecase. And the person that I said it to, like, I really respect their opinion. And I was a little bit nervous and like, you know, like going into it, like, okay, if I can get through this. And he looked at me dead in the face. He was like, yeah, I don't doubt that for a second. Like I couldn't do that shit. Like, you know that you were a junkie, right? Like,
like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Right.
Like we are so powerful, and that's what I try to remind people. And I think it's cool that, like, you know, because I basically say the same thing as all these staff members are saying at these treatment centers around the country, but the message comes a little bit different because of who I am and I've lived it. Right. And so it's like, even though the message is the same, it's a different twist to it. And so I get to motivate people. I get so many messages every day from people from like these centers that are doing life, getting their kids back, getting that job, getting that promotion. And it's like, to hear that, you know, I at least played a part or planted a seed that made them want to do better. Like it's very fulfilling. It really is.
Well, I don't think you take that for granted for a second. And I mean, I know I've said it once and I'll say it again a million more times, you know, in this lifetime, like the amount of work that you've done, the amount of sweat equity that you've poured into yourself and into the community, it's unmatched. And I mean, people are out there hustling, but like to be able to hit it from that many different angles and to be that true to yourself and be that consistent is a really powerful thing. And to also be an advocate for, you know, the other side that people don't often really talk about, which is the ones that don't go into meetings. And you know what, people got to be out there counting their days, and I will always be for those people. But at the same time, I'm really excited to be able to have another example of what hard work and perseverance and believing in yourself really looks like. And so
Yes.
you deserve every single comment and like and share and follow, more so than most. I truly
Thank
believe
you so
that.
much.
Like,
I appreciate that.
yeah, absolutely.
I'm grateful.
Man, what a thing. What a thing. Thank you so much for hanging out. Like, honestly,
course.
what a wicked night. Thank you so much, you guys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for everyone
Absolutely.
that came and hung out with us tonight, thank you so much for kicking it with us and chilling and doing the thing. Yeah, it matters a lot, you guys. We all know that everybody's going through something, so again, don't hesitate to reach out to any of us. Skyler said the same thing. Come and check
Absolutely.
out.
Send me a message. I answer every single message. Don't be afraid. I'm here for you guys. I don't care what you want to message me about. I will always answer back. Just know I believe in you guys. I know what it's like to be an addict. I know what it's like to feel down and out, to struggle with confidence issues, to think that, the world's too hard. But in reality is that we actually can do it and we are not alone. So if you find me inspiring, if you find, the host of the show inspiring, or other podcasts, just understand you don't know how inspiring you are to other people yourself. And so just walk with pride, keep that chin up and keep taking day one step at a time. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, you guys out there, stay safe, take care of each other, and we'll see you next Tuesday. All right.
Put me in the dirt, increase my work, the expert. You see the hunger in the eyes of a survivor. Swallowed my pride, washed down with some saliva. Reinvented my whole life, mental MacGyver. One door shut, another open up wider. Listen, battle drums in the distance, moving with enough force like army tank pistons. Pray for the strength of Jah to fight resistance. Fight mode, shields up, moving with resilience.
The strength of 1,000 lion and the strength of 1,000 giant. Please stay strong. Please stay strong. With the strength of 1,000 elephant and the strength of 1,000 tiger, we stay strong. We stay strong. We stay
The
strong.
further you take my rights away, I'ma run to it, refuse to hear my voice. Speak loud when I spit it, but you don't get it. You just wanna be a side critic. See somebody else showing hate in the side of the road with it. Now how would you feel standing on the sideline and watch the color of a nation deteriorate over time? The flag real high, but compassion 6 feet below. Now you're searching for that justice that the side of the never showed. Deny my place, I'm back with a trace. Keep up the pace, tight lace, game face, get back in the race. Whatever they did could never be undone. Every dark night ends with the rising of the sun. Squandered every wealth that's built from the mud. Squandered every wealth that's built from the blood. Squandered every wealth that's built in chains. Stolen from the ancestors, running through my veins.
With the strength of 1,000 lion and the strength of 1,000 giant, we stay strong. We stay strong. With the strength of 1,000 elephant and the strength of 1,000 tiger, we stay strong. We stay strong.